The new 2025 Volvo XC90 is here, better than ever. With new styling, an updated interior, and plenty of new features, it's ready to hit completion with full strength. But will that be enough to keep up with much younger rivals, as this is still the same generation that was introduced almost a decade ago? Stay with us to find out. But first, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth reviews, previews, and the latest news from the automotive industry. 2025 Volvo XC90 New Styling. Don't mess with success. That's probably what Volvo engineers had in mind when thinking about what to do with their three-row SUVs that have been on the market for a full decade now. Because there aren't many contemporary models that aged with grace like the XC90 did. Elegant, well-appointed, and pretty luxurious, this midsize didn't feel like it needed radical changes. So, Swedish designers decided it was just better to polish things up. So, what are we seeing on the new 2025 Volvo XC90 is a mixture of new and familiar things. As mentioned, the current generation proceeds, and with the EV future that seems a bit uncertain these days, most automakers rather choose updates than full redesigns. In this case, that's perfectly fine because the XC90 silhouette still looks perfect. The familiar shape is there, but it's been polished up with some pretty effective details. And like with every update, we look at what's happening at the front first. There, the changes are the biggest. We can start with the grille design, which comes with bolder surroundings and a slightly altered shape. What's way more effective is the new pattern, with those askew slats coming from two directions, fitting into each other somewhere in the middle. The famous Thor's Hammer LED headlights are still there, but also slightly altered in a little bit fancier iteration, and slats that, unlike those on the grille, look a little bit bent out of shape. The whole mess with slats gets wrapped on with new vertically oriented air intakes, which feature horizontal slats. But despite this small confusion, the overall front-end design sticks to Volvo's latest design language with typical Scandinavian simplicity and elegance. Other than the front-end design modification, things don't look all that different. Yes, subtle changes can be found here and there, but altogether, the overall design looks pretty much unchanged. Even the taillights, although with new internal design, keep the famed Volvo shape. Still, it's not hard to notice that things look a bit different from the side, mainly because of the new wheel designs, and the fact that base models come with 20-inch units now instead of 19-inch wheels. Interior design. While the exterior changes seem subtle, things are way more different on the inside, where the Swedish manufacturer decided to make some radical modifications and keep this 10-year-old SUV fresh and competitive. We always liked the XC90's cabin, but it was about time to see some changes, especially in terms of tech features. Of course, this primarily refers to the infotainment screen. The old 9-inch unit is gone, and now leaves space for an 11.2-inch screen, and since Volvo designers didn't want to alter that elegant and stylish dashboard design, they decided not to integrate the screen into the dash. Instead, it rather floats over the center stack, while those narrow vertical air vents remain untouched. All in all, the new screens fit the cabin perfectly, and besides the bigger size, it also offers crisper graphics. According to the officials, it features a 21% increased pixel density, and that's the key reason for nicer graphics. Besides nicer images, the new software also offers improved navigation with a couple of new shortcuts to key apps and controls, while the quicker response is also an improvement worth mentioning. Changes and updates don't stop on the center stack. Air vents also come with some tweaks, while it's also easy to notice new decorative panels that, in order to attract more environmentally conscious customers, are made from recycled materials. The center console is new too, with more storage space and an additional cup holder, while the charging pad has been moved behind the central tunnel, further improving the ergonomics of this spacious and comfy cabin. Speaking of comfort, the officials also said that the new cabin also comes with additional sound insulation, so the 2025 XC90 will also be quieter than their already quiet predecessors. Powertrain. Volvo hasn't been too generous with words about the powertrain of the updated 2025 XC90. But if we consider that the all-electric EX90 is here and that the combustion lineup will be phasing out slowly in years to come, it's pretty clear that there will be no radical changes under the hood. Once again, all powertrain options will be based on a good old 2-liter Turbo 4, available in 3 different variants. So, the base model will continue to rely solely on a turbocharger, plus a 48-volt mild hybrid system, which rather serves to improve efficiency rather than to provide some extra power. The max output is rated at 247 horsepower. The same is true with the so-called B6 powertrain, which uses the same combo of the 4-cylinder gas engine, turbocharger, and a small electric motor, but also gets an extra boost from an additional supercharger, increasing the max output to 295 horsepower. Finally, there's the T8 powertrain, the plug-in hybrid that adds an electric motor and a big battery to the B6's setup and puts out 455 horsepower, which is plenty enough to hit 60 in about 4.5 seconds. Besides plenty of power, it's good to know that this powertrain also comes with a decently sized 14.9 kWh battery pack, which ensures up to 35 miles of electric-only mode. As for the fuel economy, the base Turbo 4 is good for about 22 mpg city and 27 mpg highway, which is typical for the class. Of course, the B6 is slightly thirstier, but not by much. Finally, the plug-in hybrid can be pretty efficient if EV mode is often engaged. Otherwise, things won't be significantly different compared to gas-only variants. All in all, the XC90 is quick and efficient. It's pretty capable too, considering that all but the base version can tow up to 5,000 pounds. The base model is good for up to about 4,000 pounds. Trim levels. The new 2025 Volvo XC90 also brings a slightly altered trim level organization. Once again, there are 3 variants to choose from: the base core, the mid-range plus, and the range-topping model that is now called Ultra instead of Ultimate. Each trim gets novelties, starting from the entry-level core trim. That model now comes standard with 20-inch wheels instead of 19-inch units. The list of standard equipment also includes things like a panoramic sunroof, synthetic leather upholstery, heated front seats, 4-zone climate control, digital gauges, a 10-speaker audio system, and many more. As for the Plus trim, the biggest novelty is improved sound insulation, so the cabin is notably quieter now. Furthermore, there's genuine leather upholstery, second-row captain's chairs, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, surround view camera, and many more. Then there's the new Ultra trim with premium leather, 21-inch wheels, ventilated front seats, window shades, a 14-speaker Harman Kardon audio system, a head-up display, and many more. It's also great to know that the list of standard safety features is very long. The base core trim comes standard with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, rear automatic braking, parking sensors, and many, many more. Finally, let's not forget a couple of standalone options such as massaging seats, synthetic suede headliners, wool blend upholstery, and a 19-speaker Bowers & Wilkins premium audio system. Still, the biggest upgrade is probably the adjustable air suspension available with the XC90 Ultra. Release date and price. The new 2025 Volvo XC90 has been presented with all those major updates, but there's a catch, at least when it comes to the US market. Namely, Volvo already started selling the 2025 model year, but the old one, without updates we just talked about. The updated version will come next spring or summer, and it's already been codenamed 2025 and a half Volvo XC90. That model will include all the novelties, and as far as it goes for the price, it shouldn't be significantly pricier than the current model. The officials still haven't come up with the numbers, but sources like Car and Driver suggest that the base core trim could start at around $59,000. The mid-range plus could go at around $62,000, while the new range-topping trim called Ultra would cost around $68,000. Keep in mind that these figures are for models with B5 powertrain. The rest of the powertrain lineup will be available in all 3 trims, so expect the price to vary a lot depending on the engine choice. What do you think of the new 2025 Volvo XC90? Can this facelift keep the old guy relevant among the younger competition? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.